The modern poultry industry wants you to buy chicken feed. Every month, without fail, you load up bags of commercial pellets, crumbles, or mash, carry them home, and pour them into the feeder. And every month, that cost adds up. For a small backyard flock, you might spend $50 to $100 a month. For a larger operation, that number climbs fast. The Amish have been questioning this for generations. Walk onto a traditional Amish homestead, and you will not find stacks of commercial feed bags in the barn. What you will find instead is land that works for itself, specific plants growing in and around the chicken yard that the birds forage freely, plants that self-seed, self-spread, and come back year after year without replanting, without fertilizer, and without cost. The Amish did not stumble onto this system accidentally. It was built over generations of practical observation, watching what chickens choose when given options, tracking which plants produce the healthiest birds, and understanding that the most sustainable feed system is one that the land provides for free. The mainstream poultry industry never promoted these plants because there is no profit in a plant that grows itself. So the knowledge stayed where it originated, on small farms, in farming communities, and in the kind of practical agricultural tradition that prioritizes what works over what sells. Welcome to Everyday Harvest. Today, we are covering the 5 plants that traditional Amish chicken keepers use to dramatically reduce or eliminate dependence on commercial feed, what each plant provides nutritionally, why chickens thrive on it, how to establish it, and how to manage it so it produces continuously, season after season, with almost no ongoing effort or cost. Let us get into it. A chicken's diet needs to supply protein for egg production, muscle development, and feather growth. It needs calcium for eggshell formation. It needs a broad spectrum of vitamins and minerals, particularly vitamin A, vitamin K, B vitamins, and trace minerals. Commercial feed hits these targets artificially. The plants on this list hit them naturally, in their whole bioavailable form. Chickens that forage on diverse plant material produce eggs with deeper orange yolks, a direct marker of elevated carotenoid content. Their immune systems are stronger, their gut microbiomes are more diverse, and the eggs they produce are nutritionally superior to those of commercially fed birds by virtually every measure studied. This is consistently documented in the comparative nutrition literature on pastured versus conventionally raised poultry. Plant number 1, Comfrey. If there is a single plant that earns the title of most valuable chicken fodder plant, it is Comfrey, specifically the sterile hybrid known as Bocking 14. It doesn't set viable seed, so it cannot spread invasively, but it compensates with extraordinary vegetative vigor. A single plant established from a root cutting will produce an enormous quantity of leaf biomass year after year in the same spot for decades, without replanting, without fertilizer, and without cost. Dried comfrey contains between 24 and 30% crude protein, comparable to soybean meal, the primary protein source in most commercial feeds. It contains all essential amino acids, including lysine and methionine. It's rich in vitamin B12, vitamin A precursors, vitamin K, calcium, and potassium. Chickens eat it directly from the plant or from cut leaves thrown into the run. Large established plants can be cut to the ground 4 to 6 times per growing season and regrow fully each time. Establish comfrey from root cuttings planted 2 to 3 inches deep in full sun to partial shade. Water consistently in the first season. After establishment, it is extraordinarily drought-tolerant and self-sufficient, dying back in winter and returning reliably each spring. A planting of 10 to 20 Bocking 14 plants along a fence line can supply a meaningful daily protein supplement to a flock of 10 to 20 birds throughout the entire growing season. Plant number 2, Stinging Nettle. Stinging nettle has a reputation problem in most Western gardens. What most people do not know is that it is one of the most nutritionally complete forage plants available, that chickens consume it readily once wilted or dried, and that a managed nettle patch will spread prolifically and provide free, high-value feed indefinitely. Dried nettle contains between 25 and 30% crude protein. It is exceptionally rich in iron, calcium, magnesium, silica, and vitamins A, C, and K. It has documented anti-parasitic properties in poultry research, and its chlorophyll content directly influences egg yolk depth, one of the most visible markers of flock health in the direct sales egg market. Cut stems and spread them to wilt for 24 to 48 hours. Once wilted, the compounds responsible for the sting break down completely. Dried nettle can be crumbled and added to feed through winter months, extending the benefits of the growing season as a stored supplement. Establish nettle from seed or root division in moist, nitrogen-rich soil. It spreads by underground rhizomes and requires annual border management to stay contained. Plant it once and it produces indefinitely. Plant number 3. Lamb's quarters. Lamb's quarters, Chenopodium album, is a plant most gardeners spend energy removing without realizing they are pulling out one of the most nutritious free chicken feeds available. It grows in disturbed soil, garden edges, compost areas, and neglected corners of virtually any temperate property. It requires no planting, no maintenance, and no inputs. It contains 18 to 20% crude protein on a dry matter basis, exceptional calcium levels critical for eggshell quality, and significant quantities of iron, magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamins A, C, and K. Chickens eat it enthusiastically at all growth stages. The management strategy is simple. Encourage rather than eliminate it. Allow it to establish in designated areas, cut and throw it to the flock regularly, and allow some plants to go to seed in late summer. The seeds themselves are nutritious chicken feed, and the act of seeding ensures next season's population without any effort. One season of intentional establishment creates a self-sustaining population that requires no further intervention. Plant number 4. Moringa. For growers in warm climates, zones 9 and above, Moringa is the single most productive and nutritionally complete chicken fodder plant available. Fresh leaves contain between 25 and 30% crude protein on a dry matter basis, all 9 essential amino acids, high beta-carotene that directly drives deep yolk color, and significant calcium, iron, zinc, and B vitamins. Moringa reaches harvestable height within weeks of planting and can be cut back repeatedly through the growing season, regrowing from the base each time. A small grove of 5 to 10 trees along the fence line of a chicken yard can supply a substantial daily protein supplement to a flock of 20 or more birds throughout the year. In frost-prone climates, grow it as an annual, planted in spring, harvested heavily through summer and autumn. For frost-free growers, established moringa trees are a permanent, self-renewing protein source requiring no replanting and minimal maintenance beyond periodic pruning to keep harvest height manageable. Plant number 5. Black Soldierfly, supported by Comfrey and fermented feed. The 5th entry is slightly different. The Amish tradition of reducing feed dependence extends beyond planting forage crops to managing the farm ecosystem in a way that generates protein from waste, specifically through black soldierfly larvae as a live protein supplement. A black soldierfly bin converts kitchen scraps, garden waste, and food byproducts into larvae that are 40% protein and 30% fat. The larvae self-harvest by crawling up a ramp into a collection container and are fed directly to chickens. The system requires no purchased inputs beyond initial bin construction. It feeds itself on waste that would otherwise go to the compost pile. The integration of larvae with the plant-based foraging system creates a genuinely closed-loop feed approach. Comfrey, Nettle, and lamb's quarters provide vitamins, minerals, and plant protein. The black soldierfly bin converts waste into high-protein live feed. Together, they address every major nutritional category from sources that are either free or self-sustaining on the property. Putting it together. Start with Comfrey. Order Bocking 14 root cuttings and plant them in a border around your chicken yard, spaced 3 to 4 feet apart. By the second season, you will have established plants producing significant leaf biomass multiple times through the season. While Comfrey establishes, identify areas where lambsquarters or nettle are already growing. Stop removing them from non-garden areas and begin harvesting for the flock. If neither is naturally present, source nettle divisions and establish a contained patch in a moist area. In warm climates, add 2 to 3 moringa trees along the sunniest fence line. In cooler climates, focus on lambsquarters as the fastest establishing annual forage available. Set up a black Soldierfly bin in early summer when temperatures consistently exceed 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Wild black Soldierflies will colonize it naturally without introduction of purchased larvae. Within one full growing season, most small flock owners report a 40 to 70% reduction in purchased feed. Within 2 to 3 seasons, as Comfrey matures and the system fully establishes, some growers report near complete feed independence for significant portions of the year. The commercial chicken feed industry is built on the assumption that you do not know what the Amish have always known, that the land, managed with intention, can provide most of what a healthy flock needs without a monthly trip to the feed store. Comfrey, Nettle, lambsquarters, Moringa, and a managed composting system for insect protein are not exotic or difficult. They are accessible, established, and free once they are in the ground. They require a season of setup and a shift in how you think about your property, from a place where you keep chickens to a place where the land feeds them. The Amish did not keep this knowledge hidden. They simply never had reason to market it. And the most important thing about these 5 plants is that nobody can sell them to you once they are growing on your land. That is the point. Now I want to hear from you. Are you already growing any of these plants for your flock? Which one are you starting with this season? Drop your answer in the comments and let us build a community of growers who are taking their feed costs seriously. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe to Everyday Harvest. We are here every week with practical, research-backed content for people who want to grow more, spend less, and build a farm system that works for itself. Hit the notification bell so you do not miss the next episode. Now, go plant something that feeds itself.